And I heard a loud voice in heaven say, now have come to pass the salvation and power and the kingdom of our God and the authority of his Christ. Because the accuser of our brothers has been hurled down, who accuses them and day and night before our God. And they conquered him because of the blood of the Lamb and because of the word of their witnessing. And they did not love their souls, even in the face of death. On this account be glad, you heavens, and you who reside in them. Woe for the earth and for the sea, because the devil has come down to you, having great anger, knowing that he has a short period of time. Now, when the dragon saw that, it was hurled down to the earth. It persecuted the woman that gave birth to the male child. But the two wings of the great eagle were given the woman, that she might fly into the wilderness to her place. This is where she is fed for a time and times and half a time away from the face of the serpent. And the serpent disgorged, D-I-S-G-O-R-G-E-D, disgorged, is that last G a J or G? It's a J, isn't it? I don't know, I can't. Disgorged water like a river from its mouth. Sounds like an earthquake, isn't it? Not yet, it's coming later. Not yet. That was just a rehearsal. How did you feel? I'm joking. Yeah, it sounds like that's water coming out of someone's mouth. That word disgorged from its mouth. And the dragon grew wrathful at the woman and went off to wage war with the remaining ones of her seed, who observe the commandments of God and have the work of bearing witness to Jesus. Sorry about all the shuffling around. Rubbish, aren't I? This is now Revelation chapter 13, verse 1. And it stood still upon the sand of the sea. And I saw a wild beast ascending out of the sea, with 10 horns and 7 heads. And upon its horns 10 diadems. D-I-A-D-E-M-S. Don't know what they are. Okay. But upon its head, blasphemous names. Now, the wild beast that I saw was like a leopard, but its feet were as those of a bear, and its mouth was as a lion's mouth. And the dragon gave it to its power and its throne and its great authority. So I believe that this is now, from 13 onwards, describing the rise of the Antichrist. And I saw, and it stood still upon the sand of the sea. And it's a beast. And it stood still upon the sand of the sea. Okay? Sounds like it's just come out of the sea. Doesn't it? If it's just stood still on the sand of the sea. What does it mean at the bottom of the sea? It stood upon the bottom of the sea. It doesn't say the shore, does it? It says the sea. It doesn't mean the edges of the sea or the actual sea. And it stood still upon the sand of the sea. Right, now in this, I know this is going to be a metaphor for the beast. Well, okay, let's keep going. And I saw a wild beast descending out of the sea. There you go. You shouldn't have took too much time to figure it out, should I? Right, so it's come from the sea. So, and we know it's nations. So it's nations from across seas. With 10 horns and 7 heads. And upon its horns, right, so it's got 7 heads, and those 7 heads have 10 horns on them, distributed, I'm guessing, however, because it won't be equal, will it? And upon those horns is what? What's diadems? It must be like little crowns. Is it like a little crown? It's got to be in it, like some sort of. The only thing you could put on a little horn would be round the top, wouldn't it, or over it? And if these are 7, the kings, aren't they? Diadems must be some sort of royal decoration or gem, royal gem, is it? But upon its heads it says, but upon its heads were blasphemous names. So that's saying, however. So blasphemous names is a positive thing. So whatever was before the however, it has blasphemous names. That was a negative thing. So the first thing must be a positive thing. So diadems must be something positive, or it would associate with something positive. I still think it's like horns with little crowns. I do. I suppose because they're all little crowns, aren't they? They're little nations, but together they make up a beast. I think that's it. Upon the hook, yeah. But upon its head, blasphemous names. Blasphemous names. So they're kings of nations with How would someone have a blasphemous name? Unless it's something obvious, we would have heard about it. So how could someone metaphorically have a blasphemous name? We know what blasphemous is. There's not going to be no metaphor for that, is there? So if someone has something that's blasphemous and it's described as a name, what's the name? Is a name something that you say? Do you say? Is it to do with what you say? They will say blasphemous things. Blasphemous name. Well, blasphemous name would be, oh, they'll have blasphemous names. Are they all claiming to be the Antichrist? Are they all some sort of Antichrist? Because this is talking about the Antichrist, isn't it? Isn't it? Oh, they have blasphemous names. They will lead that their countries have false religions, so they worship false gods. So then the names of their gods are blasphemous because they're not God's name. Could that be it? So they're saying they're nations from overseas that serve false gods, i.e. blasphemous names. Then maybe they have names. There's a name beginning with O, at Mo, and ends in id, innit? And that's the name of their false gods, and they also have people called that, quite a lot of them. Could that be referencing a blasphemous name where people are taking the name of what they think is God? Blasphemous name, Elon Musk. He changed everything to X. X means Christ in another language, and he knows that. He's not a stupid man, is he? So he's now changed his name to Christ, or God, as people know Christ. So like SpaceX, it's now known as Space God, basically, isn't it? Space God, he's called his firm, and then he's changed Twitter to X, i.e. God. That's blasphemous, isn't it? Calling himself God. I'll move on, but yeah. And I saw one of its heads as though slaughtered to death. Okay, so one of the 7 kingdoms, 7 heads and 10 horns. One of the slaughtered. So one of the heads has been nearly destroyed. So that would be a nation, would it? A nation. You got the nations, haven't you? The evil nations are the heads, and the 10 horns. You don't have one ruler for each nation these days, do you? You have multiple people. And everywhere the Western Antichrist goes, i.e. Donald Trump, everywhere he goes he takes the false prophet with him, Elon Musk. So there's two horns, innit? Elon Musk is the king because he calls himself God, X. So he's got a blasphemous name, so he could be one of the horns with a because it doesn't say crown, does it? It says this other thing, whatever it is, a diadem. Is that like some sort of a represent, a respectable decoration, but not, is it one below a crown, is it? To say they're leaders? Are they just leaders? See, on one head, for instance, if it was America, one of the 7 heads, it's going to be in it, one of the great powers. It's going to have 2 horns on in it. It's going to have the Western Antichrist and the false prophet. Oh wait a minute! If the Antichrist is a metaphor, and it's going to be but it's also where it's going to be represented from all countries. They'll all have maybe their own version, their own type. Because there's already a few coming from other countries as well. It's not just here. Could the Antichrist? That's why the Antichrist isn't made clear whether it's a person or a metaphor, because it will be a type of person, but they'll spring up everywhere. Could that be the 7 heads and 10 horns, 7 nations with 10 potential antichrists who are leaders? I know the little horn's going to approach later and become the Antichrist, so it's not one of these, but isn't it? Is it not? Is it not one of these? No, because they're a separate horn. Oh yeah, I suppose, yeah. So we're not looking for the Antichrist at the minute, we're just looking at these other nations. Maybe they all have Antichrist, these leaders all have Antichrist traits, and that's why it'll be a surprise at the end when the little one reveals itself, because we've all been looking in the obvious places, not the other places. Maybe. It's mysterious, isn't it?